my predictions for AEW's Double or Nothing. Of course, Double or Nothing is going to be taking place this Sunday at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The tickets for this show haven't been really selling very well for this show, which is very surprising because usually you would think AEW would sell a lot of tickets for their shows, and I believe the capacity for the T-Mobile Arena for this show in particular is roughly around the 9,000 range, and so far they have roughly around, they had at the time at least, I'm not sure now, at the time they had like roughly around 6,000 tickets sold out of 9,000, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that is insane. I mean, it's safe to say AEW is not hot as it was 2 years ago, but, you know, for a show like Double or Nothing, you would expect the show to be like not only an instant sellout, but just sell a lot of tickets. And for this show, it did not sell a lot of tickets, surprisingly, which is very weird. I actually thought that the build for this show was much better than Revolution's, and Revolution didn't even sell out either. But, I don't know, man. You know, the ticket sale, I mean, I feel like AEW should really start venturing outside of Las Vegas for Double or Nothing, to be quite honest with you, because, I mean, Vegas, a lot of people are saying Vegas is a very expensive area to go. I can't experience that. Honestly, I would assume yes, it is. But, I mean, we said the same thing last year, and AEW immediately sold out the show. You know, so I don't know what that tells you, but AEW ain't really as hot as it was 2 years ago. But that is not to say that the card is going to be bad, because I think the card is very good. So we're going to be talking about Double or Nothing. We have 8 matches on the card for this show. And honestly, the card is very stacked. I'm very much going to enjoy this show for what it is. In our first match of the evening, we got Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie for the TBS Championship. Overall, a lot of the stuff that was going on between Jade Cargill and Taya Valkyrie was mostly happening, I believe, on Rampage, but some of the stuff was happening on Dynamite as well. Of course, on this show, we had Lady Frost wrestling Taya Valkyrie, and Taya Valkyrie ended up getting the win. But the main story coming into this match is, of course, the finishing moves. Of course, Jade has the Jaded. Taya Valkyrie has the Road to Valhalla, which is basically the Jaded, but Taya Valkyrie has used that move longer. You got fucking Mark Sterling literally there and saying, you can't use this move, blah, blah, blah. Could this be a scenario in which Jade Cargill ends up losing the TBS Championship? I have no idea. I talked about this on my Dynamite review on this show. Honestly, I want it to happen, but knowing AEW, I don't think they're going to have Jade Cargill drop it to Taya Valkyrie, even though I think it'd be a good idea to do it, and it'd create that unpredictability nature. Honestly, I don't think they're going to be doing it, but I talked about Jade Cargill on this show, on this particular Dynamite review, and I stated, like, hey, look, you know, Jade Cargill's TBS title run, there's just no direction, you know, when it comes to Jade Cargill, and that is the biggest problem that AEW has right now. There's no direction when it comes to Jade Cargill. They don't have anybody right now that is on the level of Jade Cargill that can dethrone her for the TBS Championship. I hear a lot of people saying, you know, Chris Statlander, but I mean, Chris Statlander, do you hear, honestly, whenever Jade Cargill comes out, do you hear people chant Chris Statlander's name? Do you constantly hear the people on Twitter talk about Chris Statlander whenever Jade Cargill comes out? No. So I think Chris Statlander should be, at this point, out of the running. But it is what it is. My wanting prediction is I want Taya Valkyrie to win, but my logical prediction is guessing Jade Cargill will be retaining the TBS Championship. We have the AEW International Championship Blackjack Battle Royale as Orange Cassidy defends his International Championship against 20 other men. This is absolutely insane, but he's going to be basically facing off against 20 men, which is crazy because the story that they're telling with Orange Cassidy is that he is getting gassed and exhausted by defending his title every single freaking week. So the people that are going to be involved in this match, you got guys like Ricky Starks, Swerve Strickland, Switchblade Jay White. All those guys are going to be involved in this match, and there's many different possibilities that can happen in this match, man. Jay White could definitely, you know, get the win in this match. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Granted, I would have much rather him win the title in the one-on-one match against Orange Cassidy, but that is just me. But, you know, Ricky Starks could win the match. You could have a guy like Swerve Strickland end up getting the win. I mean, he's doing stuff with Keith Lee. I don't know why, because they have been feuding for months now, but it is what it is. But Out of all people, I do see Orange Cassidy end up retaining the AEW International Championship, and then we can move after Double or Nothing and then start planning the eventual downfall of Orange Cassidy. We have the unsanctioned match between Chris Jericho and Adam Cole. This is one of my favorite stories that have been told on AEW, and we now have Sabu as the special enforcer. I talked about this earlier. It's kind of random that they did that, but it is what it is. But nonetheless, it's going to be a great match overall, and I'm definitely excited to see what they're going to be doing. It's going to be freaking brutal. And honestly, you know, I talked about this constantly whenever I talk about AEW, whether it be a Dynamite review or a pay-per-view review, but Chris Jericho, man, in ring, he's been fantastic throughout this whole year, man. He's had a career year in ring-wise, and him going into a feud with Adam Cole is not a bad decision whatsoever. Now, thing is after this feud is over, I honestly hope to God that they don't continue to have Adam Cole feud with the Jericho Appreciation Society, because that is going to diminish his momentum, in my opinion. And really, the goal that AEW should have in this match is further elevate the momentum that Adam Cole is going to be having, because we all know eventually Adam Cole is going to be challenging for the AEW World Title. It's not going to be now, but it's going to be eventually down the line in the future later this year. So hopefully they can keep that momentum. But my pick for this match is I have Adam Cole beating Chris Jericho in this unsanctioned match. We got Wardlow defending the TNT Championship against Christian Cage in a ladder match. Now, this match is very interesting because, of course, it's Christian Cage and it's Wardlow. You guys know my stance on Wardlow. I think Wardlow has been devalued so much. If there's anything that AEW has done wrong, it's Wardlow, man. The booking of Wardlow has just been absolutely atrocious by giving him the championship and then having him drop it to Powerhouse Hobbs, which, to be honest with ourselves, is rendered absolutely useless because Wardlow ended up getting it back, you know, just a couple weeks later. It was just really dumb. I hated the booking of Wardlow. And honestly, you know, hopefully this feud with Christian really further elevates that. But, you know, honestly, I wouldn't be against the idea of Christian Cage holding the TNT Championship, because Christian is such a good heel, and if there's anything that AEW is good at, it's booking heels. You know, they're much better at booking heels than they are booking at baby faces at this point. But I wouldn't be surprised if Wardlow won. But again, this is very similar to the Jade Cargill and Taya Valkyrie match. My want is Christian Cage, but if you look at it from a logic perspective, most likely Wardlow is going to get the win and retain the TNT Championship in the ladder match. We got the AEW World Tag Team Championships on the line as FTR defends their titles against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. You guys know my stance on this as well. I think this feud is really stupid. The fact, out of all people you have FTR feuding with, like FTR, in my opinion, is the best tag team in the world today. And of all people that you have them feud with, you have them feud with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Again, I like Jeff Jarrett and I like Jay Lethal, but again, those are not the types of guys that should feud with Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. We should really think more on the direction with FTR after Double or Nothing. But Mark Briscoe is the special guest referee, and that kind of made things a little bit more interesting in my opinion. Mark Briscoe is great nonetheless, and honestly, it's pretty logical. I mean, FTR are going to be retaining the championships. There's no way Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal are going to be winning those titles at all. We got the AEW Women's World Championship on the line as Jamie Hayter will be defending her championship against Toni Storm. Now, this is very interesting because I believe Jamie Hayter currently is injured. We're not sure if it's a minor injury or a major injury, but she is injured. Now, they did wrestle before on an AEW pay-per-view. They did wrestle at Full Gear last November, which I attended, by the way, and it was a very, very, very good match. So I honestly expect these women to knock it out of the park. But who do I honestly expect winning this match? I definitely do see Jamie Hayter getting the win over Toni Storm. Now we got the first of our doubleheader main event, as I like to call it. We have Anarchy in the Arena. We have the Elite, consisting of the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Adam Page, taking on the Blackpool Combat Club, that being Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Bryan Danielson, and Wheeler Yuta. It's no secret, I even went on record on this show and stated specifically that the Blackpool Combat Club right now, the way that the direction of the Blackpool Combat Club is so much better than the direction of the BCC last year. turning heel for the Blackpool Combat Club was the best decision that AEW has ever made for any type of action, because right now it gave the Blackpool Combat Club a new lease on life, and this feud has done that tremendously. Now, who do I see winning this match? This is going to be a little bit of a hot take, but I honestly do see the Blackpool Combat Club getting the win. This is why. Now, a lot of people are talking about Don Callis and Konosuke Takeshita. What role do those two men play? Could it be a scenario in which Don Callis could align himself with the Blackpool Combat Club? I honestly do not think so. But Don Callis has been in the ear of Konosuke Takeshita. Could it be a scenario in which, yes, we do know Konosuke Takeshita is not going to be involved in the match, or he's not going to be wrestling a part of any group in the match. He's kind of, in a way, I don't want to say remaining neutral, because he kind of isn't. But from the look that he had on his face a couple of weeks ago in that ending on Dynamite, he kind of looked like he was remaining neutral. But we all know Don Callis is in his ear. Could it be a scenario in which Konosuke Takeshita comes in and it looks like he's going to be helping the Elite, but instead turns on the Elite, turns heel, and joins the Blackpool Combat Club? That could be a very interesting scenario. And then after that, the Blackpool Combat Club end up getting the win, and then we end up getting, Blood and Guts, in which we have Kota Ibushi join the Elite. We have absolutely no idea, but that's just a thought. And honestly, that's one of my biggest, hopefuls that I have for this match, because I'm very excited to see what goes on. But my pick in this match, the Blackpool Combat Club end up getting the win. And into our main event, we have the AEW World Championship on the line as MJF defends his title against Jack Perry, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara. The four pillars will be main eventing AEW Double or Nothing. And it's no secret, MJF is going to be getting the win regardless. But there's one thing that I can say about this match is a lot of people will literally be full on silent after the match is over. I talked about this on my Dynamite review. This match will be the equivalent of AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe at Unbreakable 2005. That is, I know that's a little bit of a hot take. I know it's a hot take, but it's going to be that, man. These guys are going to tear the freaking house down, and it's only going to elevate Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara. And I talked about this on my Dynamite review. You can kind of set up a one-on-one program with Darby Allin and MJF further down the line, beginning with this match, by having Darby Allin, kind of almost having the match won, but MJF stealing the victory. And then maybe a couple of months down the line, you can reignite their feud in a one-on-one feud. That's what I see that could possibly happen, but that's just a thought. But nonetheless, this match is going to be absolutely insane, and it's going to elevate everybody, and a lot of people are going to be remaining silent after this match is over. But nonetheless, MJF will be retaining the AEW World Championship, and he's going to be having a run on a lifetime, and the Reign of Terror will continue. So yeah, that was my AEW Double or Nothing predictions and my AEW Dynamite review. Overall thoughts on the show, I thought the show was great, but not really the best go-home show, and I honestly do think that Double or Nothing is going to be a banger of a show.